A baby king rides a worker bee in exchange for a coin. Out of the bee's mouth hangs a symbol of vice and addiction. This is certainly where many of the coins that this bee is given are spent. The industries that promote these vices are, of course, owned by baby kings as well. It looks as if the Lord Infant will get most of his return back. This is usually how it goes. This statue is an idol of the Royal Order of Jesters, which is seemingly the most elite circle that Freemasonry has to offer. Their mascot is known as the Billiken. That's Billiken as in umbilical. And in addition to serving as an apt metaphor for our system's exploitation of labor, their iconography also poses many other dark implications as well. To begin with, one must wonder about the ruby that's been embedded in their idol's belly button. Could this have common ground with this necklace that's hanging around accused sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell's neck? This organization is indeed alleged to be involved with activities like this on record in state archives. I personally don't have any solid proof of this, but perhaps our government does. I will say that their name does seem to have similarities to another royal gesture, that of the offerings made to Baal. You can find similar imagery in Christian iconography as well. Moving on, the bowler hat that the Billiken is wearing in this design seems to invoke Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange. If you've never seen this movie, it's essentially about using drugs and media in order to socially condition people. And this is exactly what's been happening in our society. This graphic extends a mocking salute to the armed services because these operations are presumably being done by our military. Just look into the familial connections of Jim Morrison and Frank Zappa in order to find evidence of this. O'Shea Jackson, also known as Ice Cube, confirms this himself. He has actually been of great help in my research in more ways than one. Essentially, they use popular media in order to boost up the crime rate and keep the prisons full. Many people in our courts are members of the Jesters, and they all seem to be aware of this. It's highly unlikely that any of them will comment on this, though, because one of the tenets of the Masonic Oath is to never forgo the wooden bluff. Returning to the statue, I have decided to give the bee a name. Since its writer is called Billiken, I am going to name it Silicon. And if this creature learns that it's being ridden, then it can take the baby king wherever it wants.